See this bee? Well, in the next 90 seconds, I'm going to show you how this bee can help you burn more stubborn fat than ever before, faster than any keto diet, intermittent fasting, or long hours of cardio. Because this isn't just some ordinary bee. This bee lives in a botanical garden a couple of hours from Nashville, where hundreds of rare plant species grow. These rare plants help the bees produce a strange purple honey. Now, scientists from Harvard, Stanford, Johns Hopkins, and UCLA confirm that this honey activates your body's most powerful fat-burning enzyme. This enzyme allows your body to start rapidly breaking down its stored fat. Even the most stubborn fat stores that diet and exercise programs never seem to make a dent in. And I know that's true. Through personal experience, my wife, Mary, who struggled with her weight for years after giving birth to our son, had almost given up hope of finding a solution. And that is until a series of seemingly random events led her to use this purple honey to melt 5 pounds of fat in a matter of days. And in the weeks that followed, she made this same purple honey part of the daily routine that helped her melt over 48 pounds of stubborn fat, allowing Mary to almost effortlessly reclaim the slim, fit body she had all the way back in college. And the best part is that you won't have to go to some remote location to find this strange honey yourself, because we have found a way to supercharge this fat-burning enzyme in your own kitchen in only 7 seconds a day. Thick, dense, and squishy fat disappeared from her butt, hips, arms, and face. Her hips and waist were so slender that the clothes she wore in her 20s were now loose and baggy as she easily slipped into sexy dresses, skin-tight jeans, and yoga pants. She finally had her confidence back. To think, Mary wasted years trying different fad diets and bouncing between exhaustive workout programs with nothing but frustration to show for it. Sure, she'd lose a pound or two with every new diet or exercise program she tried, filling her with hope and flooding her with excitement, always thinking maybe this was finally it. But it was always short-lived. The diets were either too hard to stick to, or she would lose a couple of pounds and then nothing for weeks on end. It wasn't long before her old habits kicked in and she'd fail once again. Every single time I could see the shame and guilt in her eyes. Yet within just weeks of discovering this rich and delicious purple honey, Mary put an end to all the body shaming she had been through. And she reclaimed all the bubbly energy and sexy confidence that made me fall in love with her in the first place. Since then, this same purple honey has helped over 36,220 other men and women make incredible, life-changing transformations of their own. Like Julie from Evansville, Indiana, who said,
"I never thought I'd be able to lose weight and feel confident in my body at 53. But this purple honey changed everything for me. I've lost 37 pounds and my husband can't keep his hands off me. I feel sexy and empowered, and I have the purple honey to thank for it."
Or Jim from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Back when I worked in construction, I was in really good shape. But just as soon as I retired, the pounds just started to pile on. I was feeling sluggish and depressed. I didn't even have the energy to keep up with my grandkids like I used to. But then I discovered your video, and it completely changed my life. I've lost 29 pounds, and I feel amazing. It's like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy than I've had in years, and I look 10 years younger.
And Carol from Baltimore, Maryland, who is excited to share,
The only thing that helped me lose fat in my 40s was keto. But having to give up all the carbs and the breads, it just made me miserable. But now, thanks to what you shared on your website, I don't have to give up any of the foods I love. And I am down 31 pounds so far. And my body seems to be burning fat faster than ever before. And I just feel amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm so proud of those folks. And the best part about this purple weight loss honey is that it doesn't matter how old you are, or how many kids you've had, or how slow you think your metabolism is. This strange purple mixture works regardless of what you eat or how much you exercise. Instead, it activates a powerful enzyme in your body whose only job is to break down fat, making the entire process of weight loss easier and a lot more efficient. And in this short video presentation, I'm going to show you how to supercharge your production of this natural fat melting enzyme in just 7 seconds per day. Like I said, my name is John Parker. I'm not a professor, dietitian, or some fitness guru. I'm a mechanical engineer. I graduated from one of the country's top 25 universities, a school in Tennessee that many experts consider to be on par with the Ivy Leagues. And that's where I met my wife, Mary. I fell in love with her. She was intelligent, beautiful, and her hourglass body had all the guys' heads turning. The two of us hit it off right away, and after 2 years of dating, I knew that she was the one. We got married and had 2 beautiful kids. But after the second pregnancy, things started to change. Not only did Mary have trouble losing the weight she gained during pregnancy, but unlike before, the number on the scale continued to climb. She was obsessed that her once toned stomach was now squishy and bulging, and her thighs had gotten bigger and bigger. Now she had to replace her jeans every year, and she got more frustrated by the day. And this became Mary's new normal. Things got even worse after Mary turned 40. She started bitterly joking that her body must be a fat magnet. It got to where Mary had gained close to 50 pounds since back when we'd first met. To me, she was beautiful, no matter the size of her body, but she was growing more miserable and depressed. She became withdrawn and less confident in herself. It was a far cry from the vibrant and lively woman I had fallen in love with all those years ago. There isn't a diet or exercise plan that she didn't try. Keto and paleo, juicing, Weight Watchers, South Beach diet, you name it. I even got her a Peloton bike, but it ended up being an overpriced clothes hanger. Zumba, kickboxing, Pilates didn't help either. She would trim down a bit, but as soon as she stopped working out like crazy and tracking calories, the weight quickly started to creep back on. Every time she stepped on the scale, I could see her frustration and disappointment. We even hired a personal trainer and a nutritionist, but still no luck. It seemed like no matter what we did, her weight just wouldn't budge. And then things went from bad to worse, when Mary was brutally and publicly humiliated because of how heavy she was. This was probably the lowest point of both our lives. However, it also ended up being one of the most important moments because it was this incident that triggered a sequence of events that would ultimately lead me to discover an incredible, natural, purple weight loss honey that helped my wife Mary lose every single pound of nagging body fat with very little effort. And now it's helping thousands of women and men across the country to do the same without having to change the foods they eat or add even a single minute of additional exercise to their routines. And I'm so excited because I know it can do the same for you too. Restoring the head-turning physique you feared you'd lost forever. Making it so that you once again enjoy going shopping for new clothes and giving you so much more energy throughout the day, so you never again feel like you're dragging or struggling at work or with your family. Now, it all started when Mary and I received an invitation to attend Kyle's school performance. They were doing Titanic, the musical, and our son was going to be one of the ship's crew members. Mary wanted to skip the performance because she didn't feel comfortable having all those moms staring at her, judging her for the way she looked. It took a lot of convincing and Kyle begging her with tears in his eyes to convince her to join us. It was a really big moment for the kid and Mary didn't want to disappoint him. And since she was going to be seeing all of the parents and teachers from Kyle's school at the show, she even went shopping for a new dress because she wanted to boost her confidence a bit. Eventually, Mary decided on this long, flowing white dress and an off-white colored sweater. And honestly, I thought she looked hot. I even made jokes about her looking like some Greek goddess. However, on the night of the performance, I could tell she was feeling uneasy. She enjoyed seeing our son shining on stage, but after the musical was over, the school's music director called on all the parents to come up on stage for a photo. And that's when I saw the terror in Mary's eyes being exposed in front of everybody. I had to hold her hand really tightly and lead her up on the stage, but I could tell she just wanted to bolt out of the room. Just as the photographer counted down to the shot, out of nowhere, some kid looked directly at Mary and shouted, "Oh my God, she looks like an iceberg in that white dress." I guess we found the culprit who sank the Titanic. After the mean comment, time seemed to stand still. Then came a chorus of snickering and laughter from Kyle's classmates. And then, before we knew it, the auditorium was echoing with the laughter of kids and their parents. They just couldn't help themselves. Mary stood there, frozen. And then she turned pale white, even whiter than her dress. It was worse than she could have imagined. Everyone was watching, laughing, and judging her. But her gaze was fixed on me. I knew she blamed me for making her go. Her eyes filled with tears, and she ran out of the room. The car ride home was the worst 14 minutes of my life. But as devastating and uncomfortable as that event was, in many ways it turned out to be the night that changed everything for the better, because it led me to discover this purple honey that would ultimately allow my wife to shed pound after pound of thick and dimply fat without dieting and without exercise. That evening, as I watched from the kitchen, as Mary sobbed uncontrollably on the couch, I was torn inside. I had encouraged her to go and climb up on that stage. I'd let her down, and now she was suffering. She withdrew from social activities and stayed in the house. She stopped picking up our kids from school. She stopped taking Kyle to soccer practice, and she only came to bed late at night after I had fallen asleep. It was agonizing to see my once confident and outgoing wife become so withdrawn. I wanted to help her, but the only thing I could think of was to get her away from it all. She needed a break and some fresh air in nature. And because I remembered how much Mary used to love botanical gardens, I came up with the idea of taking her to one that was a few hours away from us. I thought maybe the gardens could provide some much-needed distraction for Mary and lift her spirits. But what I didn't realize was that this romantic getaway would end up changing everything. Because it was at those botanical gardens that I first stumbled onto a strange purple-colored weight loss honey that would help Mary to rapidly burn more than 48 pounds of unwanted body fat, transforming her entire physique in the process and leaving her looking and feeling sexier and more confident than she had in years. I'm so excited to share all the details of this purple weight loss honey with you. You see, I picked one of the most remote botanical gardens I could find way out in the country because I didn't want my wife to feel any pressure or be recognized by anyone we knew. When we arrived, we were greeted by the husband and wife couple who owned the property, and they offered to give us a private tour. They seemed like lovely folks, but there was something odd about their appearance. They both looked like models who were pretending to be country folk. They were slim and fit, and they showed no signs of wrinkles either, even though it was clear they spent a lot of time out in the sun. Now, if these folks had been in their late 30s, that would have been one thing. But as we were doing the tour, the man kept mentioning their grandchildren. And it was really confusing because seriously, they barely looked old enough to have kids, let alone grandkids. Well, anyways, as we walked through the gardens, I could see the tension slowly start to lift from Mary's face. She was taken in by the colorful flowers and their amazing aromas, and she seemed to be enjoying herself for the first time in weeks. Just then, we came upon a beehive, bustling with activity, but what I immediately noticed is that these bees weren't frantic or aggressive in any way. Not like other bees protecting their hive. They seemed calm and unaffected by our presence. It was really bizarre. Then, just as I was about to make a comment about how peaceful the bees seemed, the woman handed her husband what looked like a small spoon, and he reached right inside the hive and pulled out a spoonful of a gooey purple substance. He showed it to us and then put it into his mouth. He grabbed 2 more spoons, filled them with the purple honey, and handed them to us. "Try it," he said. And so I did. And the second that purple substance hit my mouth, I was shocked. I had never tasted such a rich flavor before. I asked the man how come the honey was so delicious. He told me that it was a special kind of purple honey. And while most of the honey in this area was naturally purple for reasons that nobody seemed to understand, this honey in particular had a richness and a flavor that no other honey has. But that's not the only thing special about this honey, he said. "Follow me." He then led us back to the shop at the front of the garden and took us back into his office. "You see that picture?" he said, pointing to the wall behind his desk. It was a picture of an older, overweight man and woman. "Are those your parents?" I asked. "Nope," he said. "Look again." "Wait, that can't possibly be you," I said. "You are so fat," he said. "Yep, it's hard to imagine now," he said. "But we used to both be horribly overweight. In fact, that's the reason we decided to move out of the city. We were overweight and miserable, and my doctor warned me that if I didn't take it easier, I wouldn't get to see my kids graduate. But then everything changed when we bought this place. I had to know how they had turned their lives around like that. But his wife told me they hadn't changed much about their diets or exercise routines. I mean, we do walk around more, and we get lots of sunshine and everything, but then we also went for walks a lot back when we lived in the city. So I'm not sure if that's part of it, and we still eat like we used to as well. Maybe a little worse, honestly, since we're out here in the country. You know, fried chicken with buttermilk, ribs, fried green tomatoes, creamy mac and cheese, foods we love. We believe it's the honey. We even had it tested by a good friend of ours who works in a lab in New York. He ran tests on it and said the honey has a rare blend of nutrients that activates something called lipase inside the body. And lipase is the enzyme that breaks down fat in the body. My head was spinning. I had to find out if this thing would work for Mary as well. So I asked the couple if I could buy a jar from them. They said no, they didn't want our money, but that we could just have a jar for free. The whole drive home, I couldn't stop thinking about the purple honey. I was convinced there was something special about it. But Mary was a lot more skeptical. She said the couple had probably lost all that weight because they moved to the countryside and walked more often. But there's no way some magic purple honey is responsible for the way they look. I knew she had a point. So I decided to do my own research into the lipase they had mentioned. So I looked up lipase, and what I found blew my mind. It turns out that lipase has one job in the body: to break down fat and release it into the bloodstream, where it can be used for energy. This alone makes lipase a super important enzyme for human health. But when it comes to weight loss, it could very well be the most important enzyme, because without lipase, our bodies can't convert fat into energy. So instead, that fat gets stored. But it goes deeper than that too, because lipase also helps regulate important hormones like insulin. It's one of the key enzymes our body needs to deal with things like cholesterol, fatty acids, and triglycerides. In a large-scale meta-study performed by the journal Nutrition, researchers found that people with higher lipase levels lost an average of 26.5% more weight than those with less lipase. They also had lower cholesterol and insulin levels too. And in a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled trial published in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology, researchers found that people who were given lipase lost on average 11.8 pounds more than those who were not. I couldn't believe what I was reading. From what I could tell, lipase was the holy grail when it came to weight loss. But that brought up another question. Why do lipase levels start to drop in the first place? Well, I found that answer too, and it comes down to our pancreas getting more and more tired and unable to produce the important enzymes that our digestion needs. You see, the pancreas usually fills up on good enzymes from food in order to pump out good enzymes for a fast and smooth digestion. But most of the modern food we eat nowadays is overprocessed and full of preservatives, which kill off the good live enzymes. This is what most experts call dead food. Even veggies and fruits come from a soil that is depleted of nutrients due to aggressive and intensive agriculture. That means they no longer have the live enzymes that your pancreas needs. Without them, your pancreas starves and starts working less and less. It's like a bear in hibernation. Until it finds more live food to feed on, it will simply try to save all the energy it can and cut the fat-burning enzyme production. In a study done at UCLA, researchers found that lipase levels drop between your 30s and your 40s. That's when most women and men report they start to consistently gain weight. And it makes sense. By the time you're 30, you've been eating dead food for years, and the levels continue to drop for the rest of your life. But here's the really crazy part. You see, the researchers also found that gaining weight also leads to lower lipase levels. And because lipase is the enzyme that metabolizes fat, this leads to you gaining even more weight. No wonder so many people have such a hard time losing weight. Your body is literally working against you. But as you're about to find out soon, there's a way to restart your pancreas and have it work at a good speed again, no matter what you eat. Mary was just as blown away as I was when she heard all of this, so she agreed to give the purple honey a try. She started adding the honey to her breakfast and dinner desserts. After the first 4 days, she seemed a bit disappointed. Even though she had more energy, she hadn't lost much weight, just about 1.5 pounds in those first 4 days, which she thought might have been just water weight. I started getting nervous. I was ready for her to give up, but thank God, she is so much more stubborn than I am. Because after the first week, when Mary got on the scale, she was down about 5 pounds. And by her 14th day, that 5 pounds had turned into 13 pounds. And for the first time in a long time, she was feeling confident about the future. People were beginning to notice the changes and telling her how good she looked. She also had more energy and her mood was better too. Plus, her skin looked better than ever. She was glowing as if her pancreas getting a restart was making her whole body look younger and more toned. And in the weeks that followed, it was like Mary's dead metabolism had suddenly been brought back to life. 17 pounds gone. 22 pounds gone. Before we knew it, Mary had lost a staggering 33 pounds. She couldn't believe the transformation herself. Just a few months prior, she had been struggling to find a dress to hide her body. Now she was shopping for one that showed it off. She could wear things that she never thought she'd be able to. Some of our family friends were starting to ask her what her secret was. And while that weight loss was incredible, it was just the start. There was no denying that her skin looked amazing. The wrinkles and creases in her forehead looked like they were fading, and her complexion had this dewy, radiant glow. Heck, even her hair looked fuller and shinier. It was like Mary was becoming this healthier, younger-looking person right before my eyes. And her energy levels were crazy. She was like a teenager in the body of a grown woman, so much so that she even started exercising a lot more regularly. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to. It felt like I was getting my wife back. She started picking up the kids from school again, spending more time with friends and family. She wanted to be out in public, so we'd go out shopping, then dinner, and a movie, no longer embarrassed to be seen in a bathing suit. She was now purposely planning our family trips to places where she could wear her bikini. So for a moment, everything was good. But there was one big problem. We were running out of honey. I could see the fear in Mary's eyes when she picked up the almost empty jar one morning. I had to drive back to the botanical garden and get more. As soon as I got there, I searched for the couple and found them planting some tomatoes in the front yard. I told them everything that was happening with Mary, the weight loss, how she was looking so much younger, how happy we both were. Then I begged them to sell me as much of their honey as they possibly could. I was shocked when they refused. They told me that they didn't have a lot of honey and needed it for themselves and their family too. Mary could probably steady her weight through diet and exercise now that her body had gotten a small reset, is what they told me. But I knew that her body needed more time to fully adjust and settle into this new normal. I was devastated, but left determined to find out exactly what was in this honey, for Mary's sake. So I begged them to at least give me one more jar. And as I drove back home, my mind was racing. The first thing I'd need to do was to figure out what was actually inside that honey. And if it worked by activating lipase production, how did it work? There had to be some powerful active substances in this purple honey, because Mary and I both had eaten plenty of honey in the past, and it certainly hadn't led to either of us dropping pound after pound of fat. So after talking with Mary, we agreed to send a small sample of this purple honey to Ben Lang. Ben is a friend from our college days, and he's now a chemist for this top consumer packaged goods company. So I called Ben and told him what was going on, about the honey and about Mary's transformation. I told him that according to one doctor, it was because this particular honey stimulates lipase production, but he was intrigued. He was also a total science nerd, so he told me to send him a sample, and he'd get it analyzed in his lab. Weeks went by when Ben finally called. He said he was sorry that it had taken him so long, but he had some news that he promised was worth the wait. This honey is remarkable, he told me. I've never seen anything like it. You could just hear the excitement in his voice. By the time he had explained all his findings, it was easy to see why Ben was so excited, because it turned out there were indeed some very special things going on with this purple honey. And just as we had suspected, it was the lipase enzyme that was responsible for Mary's dramatic weight loss. In fact, what Ben shared explains exactly why this purple honey can help you quickly drop 7, 15, even 20 plus pounds of your most stubborn and unwanted body fat, and do it without you having to start any brand new diets or make a single change to your current exercise routine. Starting in just a matter of days, you see, according to Ben's analysis, there were actually several reasons why this honey had such a powerful effect on lipase. And a lot of it had to do with the flowers and fruits that the bees near the garden were choosing to pollinate and drink the nectar from. Then he asked me if I'd noticed a green vine-like plant growing around the garden. And when I thought about it, I had. The stone walls leading up to the garden, the trees we'd seen in the woods on the way there, they were all covered in these green vines. Those vines you saw were probably kudzu, Ben told me. There's a ton of it in this mixture you sent me. And it's what's giving the honey that dark purple color. I asked Ben how a green vine could make purple honey, and he explained that while the vines might not have been in bloom when we had toured the botanical gardens, when they do bloom, kudzu has these dark, rich purple flowers, and while it's considered an invasive species in the South, bees love it and are very attracted to kudzu's dark purple flowers. And guess what? Ben told me. It turns out there's all this emerging research that suggests this kudzu vine can increase lipase levels. Ben shared with me over a dozen studies that showed how kudzu could help increase lipase levels, along with multiple human studies where researchers had found that kudzu helped to support healthy weight loss. and had a host of other benefits for your health. For example, in one big 12-week study Ben sent me, when researchers gave overweight people either kudzu extract or a placebo, basically a fake pill, they found that kudzu helped people to lose significantly more fat than the placebo did, and that fat-burning effects were especially noticeable in the belly area. So kudzu explains the purple color of the honey, Ben told me, but that's just one of the really interesting things I found in this honey mixture. It's honestly really crazy. Practically every single thing that's in this honey doesn't just boost your lipase levels, but it has all these other fat-burning properties too. I asked Ben to elaborate, and he told me that the sample I'd sent also had high amounts of Oregon grape, and that Oregon grape has high levels of a natural substance called berberine. And guess what, Ben told me? There's all this research showing that berberine increases lipase levels when it's consumed. Then Ben emailed me over this huge study that looked at how berberine helps the human body and found that there was significantly decreased body weight, body mass index, and waist circumference in those who consumed it regularly. It was really cool to see. And while kudzu and berberine alone were incredibly powerful at boosting lipase levels, cranking up fat metabolism and dissolving unwanted pounds in record time, that was just a taste of what was in this purple honey. He also found traces of wild raspberries, holy basil, and olive leaves. And while the three of them are known to be loaded with youth-supporting antioxidants and support a healthy metabolism, cholesterol, and other important health markers, they also have very direct effects on lipase and fat metabolism. One study found that wild raspberry extract could reduce body weight by up to a fifth of the entire body weight of a person, reduce fat accumulation by 29.1%, and boost lipase activity by 40.7%. Another study found that wild raspberry extract led to an average fat reduction of 24% and increased metabolic rate by 15%. A double-blind, randomized clinical trial involving 120 people showed that olive leaves lower total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides. And in a separate 8-week study, participants who received olive leaf lost 338% more fat than those who didn't. As for holy basil, it targets metabolic stress, blood sugar, and lowers bad cholesterol. Clinical studies showed significant changes in the subject's fat molecules after just 30 days. I couldn't believe it. According to Ben, this purple honey was swarming with lipase-boosting, fat-melting nutrients. Every single one of them was a powerful lipase and metabolism booster on its own. Combined, they were more potent than anything he'd ever seen. But there was still more. It really is like the perfect storm, Ben told me. All these plants and fruits are super healthy on their own, and they can all help a little bit with weight loss. But whether by coincidence or divine intervention, they're all found inside that purple honey mixture. And then, just when I thought Ben was finished, he dropped one final bombshell on me. Oh, and one last thing he said. You might have noticed how I keep saying purple honey mixture, and not just honey. That's on purpose. It's really more of a mixture. I asked Ben what he meant, and he told me that in addition to the honey itself, and the kudzu, raspberry, holy basil, and olive leaf that it contained, his lab analysis had found 3 other ingredients in very high amounts. The first was royal jelly, a special food substance that the queen bee of a colony eats throughout her entire life. Royal jelly is loaded with all kinds of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. And in major studies where royal jelly was given to humans as a supplement, researchers found that it supported healthy weight loss and lowered cholesterol and blood sugar, and that it also had amazing longevity properties, with one team of scientists even calling it an intelligent anti-aging agent because of the way it seems to support our brains and memories as we get older. Then, in addition to royal jelly, Ben said he also identified large amounts of bee bread in the purple mixture, which is a superfood mixture of pollen and nectar, and it also contained propolis, which he told me is a special resin that bees make, and that's loaded with still more youth and metabolism supporting vitamins, antioxidants, and enzymes. Well, as Ben finished telling me all of this, my mind was on fire. I mean, it was like nature and the universe had conspired together to create this 1 in a billion fat-burning honey, and it just happened to be at a botanical garden we'd gone to visit on a whim. I couldn't waste this opportunity to help others. Not when this same purple honey had already made such an incredible impact in Mary's life. And because there were so many millions of others in the US who were suffering and struggling with their weight every single day. And while I knew we couldn't get more of this honey from the botanical gardens, I thought there had to be some way to get more of this fat-burning super honey out to the world. So I asked Ben if there was a way to get the ingredients and effects if we combined all the flowers and plants the bees used into one powerful mixture. He was immediately on board, but he did warn me that it would be expensive and time-consuming, so I should be prepared for that. And while I understood that this was indeed a risky move, I knew that if what we created was even half as powerful as the purple honey Mary had been eating, it would be worth it. So Ben and I got to work, calling up local organic farms and gardens all over the South, with our philosophy being that the closer these fruits and plants were to the botanical garden, where I'd first discovered this purple honey, the better. Of course, it was way more time-consuming to source ingredients this way versus just getting cheap powders from overseas, but staying local whenever possible was important to both of us, especially since we wanted to replicate everything that was in this purple honey mixture as closely as possible. It took us months to get this right, and a lot of late nights too, since we had to do everything in Ben's lab after all the other employees had gone home, which meant often working from 6 p.m. until well after midnight. We spent hours testing different formulas and trying to get the right mix. And while there were definitely times when both of us wondered if we were crazy or if we should just give up, finally, after what felt like an eternity of trial and error, we cracked the code by creating a formula that was almost 100% the same as that of the original purple honey. Holding that first little bottle of purple honey in my hands for the first time, it felt like I'd just been handed some fat-burning holy grail, and nobody was more excited to try it than my Mary. So the moment we had that formula, I rushed home and gave it to her. And sure enough, within just a few days, Mary's weight loss came roaring back with a vengeance. In fact, she was losing weight faster than ever before, until before we knew it, she was down another 16 pounds of fat, which meant she'd now lost roughly 48 pounds total, and she was looking younger and more beautiful than ever. She looked, moved, and even acted like an entirely new woman. Everything was different, both physically and emotionally. She'd now dropped 4 dress sizes, and Mary was becoming a regular at our local Goodwill, stopping there every week to get rid of more baggy clothes that no longer fit her. In fact, it got to the point where her closet was almost empty. And I probably shouldn't have done this, but I just loved encouraging her to go shopping. I told her to get as many new outfits as she wanted. She was a woman who loved to be out in the world, chatting it up with strangers, turning heads whenever she entered the room. And you want to know what the absolute best part was? Only a couple of months later, we went back to Kyle's school for the annual family picnic. And as I walked onto the school campus with Mary, I just felt so proud of my wife. She had worked so hard to lose this weight, and she had suffered through so much. And now there she was, walking confidently across Kyle's school, turning heads with each bold stride. When we got to a spot on the athletic field where my son's class had a reserved area, we were immediately greeted by Jolene, one of the other moms. We hadn't seen her since that embarrassing night at the performance. And as she walked up, her jaw dropped, and she just stared at Mary in disbelief. "What happened to you?" she asked. "I'm sorry if that's rude, but you look amazing. What's your secret?" Mary just smiled and told her all about the purple honey. She explained how the purple honey, combined with other ingredients, had helped her lose all that weight. And Jolene immediately asked if we could give her some of the formula. I told her to stop by our place later that evening, and I'd give her a few bottles. But 6 weeks later, she called, and she was talking so fast we had to ask her to take a deep breath. She told us she'd lost 19 pounds, that now she was back to her high school weight. And then she told us she wanted more of this honey immediately. Plus, she asked if we had some extras that she could give to her sister. And from there, I guess you could say our purple honey went viral. Soon, other parents at the school were asking us for the formula. The text messages, emails, and phone calls received became overwhelming. And it seemed like every single person who had started using this honey was coming back with transformative results. Pounds melted, energy increased, and moods improved. They would tell us that they finally felt confident in their own skin again. And speaking of skin, I can't even tell you how often these women women would also mention the beauty benefits of this honey, or talk about how the appearance of their fine lines and wrinkles was so much better now. And as more and more people began calling, emailing, and texting about this honey, it was clear what we needed to do. So Ben, Mary, and I got all together, touring 22 different manufacturers until we found one that met our exact specifications. Then we found a local bottling facility that could package up each bottle of the honey mixture for us. And I even got the blessing of that couple from the botanical garden, since none of this would have been possible without them. And at that point, we were ready. So we created this website, and right now, I'm so excited to introduce you to Honeyburn. To my knowledge, Honeyburn is the first and only fat loss formula that's powered by bees and designed to support your body's production of the fat-burning enzyme lipase. It contains the exact same ingredients that we found in the purple weight loss honey we first discovered at the botanical gardens. Kudzu extract, raspberry, olive leaf, berberine, holy basil, propolis, bee bread, and royal jelly, to which we added 2 more power ingredients: sodium alginate from marine brown algae, a natural extract that suppresses hunger and that maintains the strong properties of our formula long term, and carrot powder to help your body fully detox and release stress. And the way we make Honeyburn is by taking all of those ingredients and adding them to a nutrient-rich base of raw southern honey. Each batch is then carefully crafted in a commercial-grade facility that follows good manufacturing processes, the gold standard. And we also have every single batch tested for purity to ensure that it's free of contaminants, heavy metals, or pesticides. This means Honeyburn is a completely natural and 100% effective way to burn both stored fat and new fat while supporting your metabolism, your hormones, your cholesterol, and your skin. That's why I'm so excited for you to try it for yourself. Honeyburn comes in an easy liquid dropper, where you simply squeeze a few delicious tasting droplets into your mouth twice per day, once in the morning and once in the evening. Or, if you prefer, you can also add Honeyburn to water, juice, or any of your favorite beverages, because it makes a great beverage enhancer too. Then, just savor the rich flavors of honey and fresh fruits, and smile to yourself as Honeyburn goes to work, helping your body to burn through stored fat and stopping the storage of new fat. Honeyburn contains a powerful blend of unique, all-natural ingredients proven to stimulate lipase production, lower cholesterol, and boost your metabolism. Nothing comes close to its ability to accelerate weight loss and dissolve even the most stubborn pockets of fat without diet or exercise, even when nothing else has worked. Already, more than 36,220 women and men from across the U.S. have experienced the fat-burning power of Honeyburn, and their experiences are all nothing short of inspiring. Like Jenna R. from Anaheim, California, who says,
I incorporated the honey into my daily routine, and the results were almost immediate. Within the first week, I had lost 5 pounds. I was amazed at how quickly the honey was working. By the end of the first month, I had lost 15 pounds. I couldn't believe it. My clothes were already fitting better, and I felt so much more confident in my body. I was so thankful to have found this honey. I'm still continuing to use the honey, and I'm looking forward to seeing what further progress I can make. The honey has been a miracle, and I'm thankful to have found it.
Dennis M. from Bentonville, Arkansas.
I've lost over 10 pounds in the last week. I'm sleeping better, and I have more energy than ever. I'm kind of amazed at how much better I feel in just 1 week. I used to be constantly exhausted, but now I get through an entire day of work without feeling too tired, and I'm eating a lot less too. The honey really works to curb my appetite.
And Jillian W. from Asheville, North Carolina, who tells us,
So I have to share with the class. I am down 27 pounds. I started this honey mix, absolutely delicious, and I have to give a super huge, genuine thank you.
honestly, there really is nothing else like Honeyburn in existence, at least not commercially. Because while there are plenty of honeys that you can buy at the store or online, you've now seen why this purple honey mixture Mary and I stumbled onto is completely unique, and how its fat-burning properties are all thanks to a very specific mixture of fruits and flowers that are native to the region where we live or growing in that particular botanical garden we visited, and which are favored by the local bee population too. Finding this purple honey was like winning the lottery. Having it happen once was improbable enough. Expecting it to happen twice is certifiably insane. And even if you were to go out and buy all these ingredients I've mentioned one by one, you probably still wouldn't get anywhere near the fat-burning benefits that Honeyburn will give you. Why do I say that? Well, it's no secret that many supplement companies love cutting corners, at least when it comes to their ingredients. So they'll spend plenty of money on fancy marketing and nice packaging, but then when it comes to what's actually inside their tinctures or pills, they find the cheapest powdered forms of every ingredient they can. And they don't care if those ingredients are organic or not, or if the dosages are so low that they won't even be effective. And sometimes they don't even include the ingredients they say they do, or their products are spiked with sketchy generic drugs from places like China. So given all that, is it any wonder why so few people get good results with dietary supplements? Even when the ingredients have all kinds of great science behind them. And meanwhile, each batch of Honeyburn is made in a commercial-grade manufacturing facility. Then it gets tested by an independent third-party laboratory to ensure that what you see on the label is what you get inside. Plus, we're only using the freshest natural ingredients we can find, and at dosages that are backed by real scientific studies. So that's why I think doing this on your own by mixing a bunch of supplements and extracts is a non-starter. Not to mention, it would be way more expensive than Honeyburn too, since, as you'll see in a moment, you're going to be able to try this breakthrough today at a really big savings. And while it's certainly true that both diet and exercise can help to support a healthy weight, I don't have to tell you how darn hard it can be to find the time to work out 5 days a week and then actually have to go to work or take care of chores while exhausted. And when it comes to diets, we all know how tough it is to stick with any diet, which is probably why we see new diet fads popping up on TikTok or in the news seemingly every single month. Then there's Honeyburn, which gets your body to start burning fat very first dose, and then keep supporting your fat-burning enzymes day after day. So I want you to ask yourself, how much is it worth to you to finally lose the weight? To once again feel confident and sexy, or to wake up each morning knowing you're being the absolute best version of yourself. I know that Mary did not want to wait a second more when we had our first bottle ready. It was a nightmare we wanted to wake up from. To go back to living our lives together without fear, shame, or pain. She deserved to be happy, just like you do. I'll never forget the pain in Mary's eyes when she felt alone, the humiliation she suffered at that school musical, the way our son Kyle looked at both Mary and me on the way home, as if he was ashamed of his mom and dad, or the guilt I felt deep inside for letting all this happen. All the pain, all the diet fails, all the struggles, the staring and gawking from strangers. These things left what I thought would be a permanent scar on my wife's very soul. And that's why Mary, Ben, and I all decided that we needed to make Honeyburn as affordable as possible by setting the retail value at $175. Honestly, considering all the time and expense that goes into making each bottle of Honeyburn, that price is shockingly fair. Yet at the same time, our goal from the beginning was also to get Honeyburn into the hands of as many people as possible, which is why we decided to cut out the middleman and, instead of selling it in stores, make it available only on our website and pass the savings on to you. This means you don't need to invest $175 to transform your physique, nor $150, nor $120. All we want is to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep this site running for as long as possible. And even though, at a minimum, we'll have to charge $99 for one bottle of Honeyburn soon, considering the ingredient prices are rising due to the fact that the supply chains are very fragile nowadays. And even though $99 for one bottle is surely a lot less than a grocery store run to get food for some new fad diet, or what you'll spend in personal training in a month, or even probably what you'd spend in a year in gym fees. Today, only on this website and nowhere else, you can secure a 6-month supply of Honeyburn for as low as $49 for a month's supply, which is $1.50 per day. We're offering such a huge discount on the 6-month package because after helping over 36,220 people and constantly communicating with our Honeyburn customers, Mary and I began to notice a pattern. Those who use Honeyburn for a minimum of 90 days tended to see better results than those who just used it for 30 days. And those who used it for 6 months or more saw the most dramatic results of all. But best of all, they were the ones reporting back that the weight also stayed off once they stopped using it. This is because the body managed to readjust its own lipase production. The longer you take it, the more time your body can rejuvenate production of this essential weight loss enzyme. So while you will probably be shocked by just how quickly you start burning fat thanks to Honeyburn, you'll want to keep taking it for at least 90 days and 6 months if you really want a major transformation. Doing this won't just ensure you're burning through existing fat stores, but higher lipase levels means new fat is less likely to get stored too. And Honeyburn keeps lipase levels high, at least for as long as you keep taking it. And the last thing I want for you is to use Honeyburn. Spend all this time fixing the problem, getting amazing results, then for you to suddenly run out of Honeyburn and the weight loss stops. Or you notice that your skin looks just a little tired and dull, and your energy levels are beginning to plummet. That would suck. And that's why, if you want lasting results, to not just burn through fat now, but to help your body as it fights to keep that fat away from you, then you'll want to keep using Honeyburn as part of your daily routine. This again is why I strongly recommend you stock up on a full 6-month supply of Honeyburn today. And the best part is that the 6-month package delivers the biggest possible savings at just $49 a bottle. It even comes with free shipping, so you won't spend a dime to get your delivery. Get started today by clicking on the 6-bottle package or whichever package is right for you right now. You'll see those below this video. Please know that you won't find us anywhere else. We do not sell on Amazon or any other website. The only place where you can order this purple weight loss honey mix is right on this page, and the page will only be up for as long as we have remaining stock. If you see Honeyburn on Amazon or anywhere other than this page, please know that it is not a real product. Don't risk disappointment or even your health by getting a fake product that will do nothing for you. This is the only place where you can get Honeyburn. If you're skeptical, we totally understand. You've tried a lot of methods. You've spent a lot of money, went through so much pain, and nothing worked. But Mary, Ben, and I are all so confident that Honeyburn works that we're also giving you our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. It works like this. Try Honeyburn today, 100% risk-free. If you don't experience any dramatic improvement or you're not content for any reason whatsoever, we will promptly issue a full hassle-free refund, no questions asked. All you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days of your purchase. You can even send back the empty bottles, and we'll still refund your money. Just get in touch with our friendly customer support staff, and they'll be happy to assist you. The contact information is right on the bottle. This means you have 2 whole months to decide if Honeyburn is right for you or not. Your order today is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. Just choose the package you want below. Once you click on your chosen package, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. After that, we'll quickly send you your order in a discreet package for maximum privacy. And for those of you who are doing the smart thing and grabbing yourself the discounted 6-month package, I'm also going to add 2 free bonus books too. That's right. When you order a 6-month supply of Honeyburn, you'll also get 2 online bonus guides worth $109 for free. The first bonus is the Beekeeper's Fat Burning Sweets, which is filled with delicious desserts, sweets, and treats that combine honey with other superfoods so that you can continue to indulge even as you're dropping the unwanted weight. Inside, you'll find recipes like gooey, warm chocolate chip honey bars with walnuts, honey joy cheesecake, chai latte honey mousse, and berry jam and honey cobbler. The best part is that you can make all of these recipes using Honeyburn. Just one more reason you'll want to stock up and save. Plus, when you add Honeyburn to these recipes, not only are they delicious, they're powerful fat burners too. Your next bonus is the Beekeeper's Medicine Cabinet. In this guide, you'll find an incredible array of natural remedies for supporting health, all of which come from bees and other animals and plants. Inside, you'll find how to manage your blood sugar, boost weight loss, improve memory and kill viruses and bad bacteria using only bee products. The small but mighty fruit that's been shown to improve memory and cognitive function. It also helps with weight loss as it's low in calories and high in fiber. What you can add to your meals to improve immune function This tasty addition adds help with weight loss by reducing inflammation in the body. The antioxidant beverage that improves memory and cognitive function. It also helps with weight loss by increasing metabolism and fat oxidation. The one ingredient you can add to any salad to boost your immune system and feel full faster. I can't wait for you to read through these amazing resources. And because I want you to be completely satisfied, when you invest in 6 bottles of Honeyburn today, we'll give you these 2 bonus online guides worth $109 absolutely free. You will gain access to them immediately once you place your order. This is how confident we are that you'll love what Honeyburn has in store for you. That's why more and more of our customers are choosing to invest in a larger pack of 6 bottles, which saves them no less than $120 and gives them 2 free bonuses worth $109. And you should also know that our special packaging keeps Honeyburn fresh for at least 2 years if not open, so you can safely stock up without worrying about your Honeyburn losing any effectiveness. Due to the extremely limited supply and high demand, most of our clients are choosing the 3-pack and 6-pack packages now while we have it in stock, because I can't guarantee this offer will be available for you if you choose to leave this page and come back later. So don't hesitate to stock up today for maximum savings. Go ahead and choose your package of Honeyburn now. You'll see how to do that right below this video. Again, this offer is in extremely high demand, so the one thing I suggest that you don't do is delay. You see, it can take us from 6 to 9 months to produce a new batch, as we're willing to accept only the purest ingredients. Otherwise, Honeyburn's efficiency would be compromised. And sure enough, searching for and sourcing the most potent ingredients around the world delays things considerably. Next, we ask a third-party lab to test the quality of each ingredient to ensure you get the highest quality, the highest purity, and that our product is 100% safe. And only then are those ingredients released to our contract manufacturer here in the USA for bottling. We don't receive the batch in our warehouses until this honey passes all tests. As you can see, that's a lot of steps that involve a lot of people. However, with everything going on in the world right now, our distribution faces a lot of challenges. And with rising demand, Honeyburn will soon be out of stock. Therefore, if you decide not to try it today, I can't promise it will be available later. Think about it. Right as you're watching this video, thousands of people across the country are rediscovering what it's like to slip into their favorite outfits again. They're setting an incredible example for their children and grandchildren. They're noticing the way their significant other looks at them. They're remembering what it's like to have every eye on them for the right reasons, and not because they're being silently judged for their weight. These people are enjoying a happy, healthy, confident life again. They're wearing clothes that complement, not hide their body. They have the energy to enjoy quality time with their friends and family. They're healthier and happier than they've been in months or even years, and they're living their best life ever. A life that's full of comments like, "Oh my God, you look fantastic," and "What's your secret?" So is it any wonder they keep asking us for more bottles of Honeyburn for them and for their dear ones? That's why, while Honeyburn is still available, I urge you to not wait. And when you click the button below, don't forget to take advantage of the massive savings and free bonuses that come with our 6-bottle package. This way, you'll make sure you have this purple weight loss honey mixture on hand for the next several months. And you won't risk running out just when you enjoy its amazing results the most. Remember, Honeyburn will do everything I said it would do and even more, or I insist you send back the bottles, even if they're all empty, for a prompt and friendly refund. As you're protected by our 60-day full money-back guarantee, I want to offer you a sincere thank you for watching my presentation, and congratulate you for taking what I think is a gigantic step towards a life without suffering or struggling. If you're still thinking about it, I just want to ask you to take a second and imagine what awaits you if you don't choose Honeyburn today. What other choice do you have? The choice to continue suffering in silence? To go out in the world each day fighting a battle against your own insecurities, knowing that you're constantly being judged? Honestly, Mary said it to me best the other day. She said, "When you're overweight, the world is indifferent to you, but when you're skinny, the world is in love with you. It's not fair that it's this way, but I think Mary is right. For her, losing weight was like breaking out of jail and then winning the lottery the next day. It changed everything for her. She's never looked back. And now we want to give you the same chance. The chance to start over, to look and feel lighter, younger, happier, and freer. It's right here, in reach, today. And that's why trying Honeyburn right now, completely risk-free, just makes so much sense. So just click below to make your choice. Enter your payment details on our secure order form and secure your supply of Honeyburn now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. Don't forget, the 6-bottle package comes with 2 free bonuses and free shipping, no matter where you live. This is the end of today's video, and the choice is yours. You can ignore everything you've seen today. The incredible studies showing that the ingredients inside Honeyburn can activate lipase and accelerate your ability to lose weight, and how they can supercharge your metabolism and dissolve even the most stubborn pockets of fat, and take your metabolism from slow and sluggish due to low levels of lipase to fast and efficient, burning excess fat in record pace, while helping to lower cholesterol, triglycerides, and insulin. Ignoring all of this really is an option. And if that's the choice you make, there are no hard feelings from me. But I do have to ask you something. If you've been yo-yo dieting for years or even decades, if you've tried every diet and every new workout routine under the sun, and yet your body still isn't where you want it to be, then what's going to change if you don't take action today? You already know the answer to that question, which is to select one of the packages of Honeyburn you see beneath this video. Then try it, 100% risk-free for the next 60 days. Choosing this second option is like breaking free of the chains of a slow metabolism. You're using real, hard, proven science to ramp up lipase production and melt away stored fat. And because the ingredients inside Honeyburn can activate lipase production immediately, many folks are shocked by how quickly they notice a difference when using Honeyburn. Ultimately, the decision is yours, but I trust you'll make the right choice by selecting your risk-free package below. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I can't wait to hear about the difference Honeyburn has made in your life. Still here? Great. I wanted to take a second and answer the most common questions I get about Honeyburn. I just want to make sure you feel 100% comfortable with your decision to order today. How and why does Honeyburn work? Honeyburn is a formulation designed to boost lipase production and accelerate your ability to burn fat. Lipase is the enzyme that turns body fat into energy and stops new fat from getting stored. In addition to lipase, the ingredients inside Honeyburn have also been shown to have numerous additional antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals with anti-aging properties. What are the key ingredients in Honeyburn again? Honeyburn contains a proprietary blend of kudzu extract, raspberry extract, olive leaf extract, berberine, holy basil, royal jelly, propolis, and bee bread. And we've infused them into organic southern honey. Are there any side effects? Honeyburn is powered by nature, and it's also based on nature's design. And all the ingredients inside Honeyburn have been proven to be safe in clinical trials and are constantly tested for purity to ensure against toxins and contaminants. Moreover, Honeyburn is manufactured in an FDA-approved facility under sterile conditions, adhering to strict and precise standards. With more than 36,220 customers, we haven't seen any notable side effects. So we're confident in saying that Honeyburn is one of the purest fat-burning formulas you'll find on the market. As always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, we advise you to show a bottle of Honeyburn to your doctor before you take it, just to put your mind at ease. When and how should I take Honeyburn? It's easy. The honey mixture comes in a liquid dropper. You just fill the dropper up and squeeze it into your mouth, or use it to flavor your preferred beverage. Just take one serving in the morning and one at night. It couldn't be easier. What if it doesn't work for me? Can you tell me about the guarantee again? The more results we see, the stronger we believe Honeyburn has the power to completely transform your physique. At the same time, we also know that nothing works for 100% of the people. who try it, as each body works in its own way. That's why every bottle of Honeyburn comes with an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If, for any reason, you aren't fully satisfied with the results, all you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days of your purchase. You can even send back the empty bottles and we'll still refund your money. How can I get started? It's very easy. Just choose your package by clicking below and you'll go to our secure order checkout page. Then just enter your information and we'll immediately get to work shipping Honeyburn right to your doorstep. So all you have to do today is click below, fill in your payment details on our secure order form, and submit your order. I can't wait to hear your success story.